Folks, Be Shooter 94 here. We're back with our first Nitro after the Great American Bash. So much to unpack from that show. We're going to do our best to get to everything on this Nitro, but we're going to start out with a video recap here of everything that happened. So we're just going to run through that. We're in front of 6,500 people. So first things first, the militia did win War Games. So now Guido, the U.S. champion, Ray Gonzalez, and Super Crazy are now your tag team champions. As they defeated Lance Storm, Rob Van Dam, and the Outsiders. Abyss is your new WCW champion after he demolished Rey Mysterio. The Hurricane defeated Buff Bagwell in a mask versus suspension match, and Buff Bagwell is now suspended for 4 months. Chris Kanyon, even though he cheated to win, did beat Sting. And Ken Shamrock defeated Diamond Dallas Page. And we also had the Dudley Boys defeat Shane and Bam Bam in a tables match. Great American Bash has been a huge success in my opinion. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. But we're going to kind of run through our Nitro here as we're on the road now to Bash at the Beach. We're really pushing through our summer very quickly here, which is awesome. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. And we're going to get right into it here. Show opens with the militia in the ring cutting a promo about how they've taken out everybody who's stepped up to them, whether it be Storm, Rob Van Dam, Outsiders, whoever wants to try to step up, and they have all the gold yet again. Guido talks about how there's no more challengers for his U.S. championship and that no one deserves a shot anyway. All the storylines have advanced, segment rating 73. However, Lance Storm does interrupt and says he feels he still deserves a shot at the U.S. title after being screwed over last time. As he's approaching the ring, though, he gets interrupted by Rhino, who says, I have not gotten an opportunity at the U.S. Championship. I have been dominant here in World Championship Wrestling, and I've been held back for months on months since I've been here. And then a surprise return, who we haven't gotten to see in a while, Mike Awesome returns and says that he wants a shot at Guido in the U.S. Championship and that he wants his match now. Guido starts laughing because he feels that none of these people are deserving for this match. The Hurricane then comes out and says that he also won this Sunday and says he deserves a shot at the U.S. title as he has never had an opportunity for it. Paul Heyman does a via satellite video here and announces that the main event of the evening will be a fatal 4-way, and the winner of this match will challenge the Guido for the U.S. Championship at a later date. So our main event for the night is Mike Awesome versus Rhino versus Lance Storm versus the Hurricane, with the winner of that match challenging the Guido for the U.S. Championship. 70 rating on that last segment there. All the storylines have advanced, and Guido obviously fantastic on the mic. I've been trying to put the U.S. title as high as I possibly can with the card, and I've really focused on it heavy. Just because of the fact that the militia are so over in this game, and they're pretty much my top guys. And, you know, putting the world title on Guido sounds a little crazy, but it's not something that's completely out of the question. But we're also making the U.S. title as important as we possibly can, so that way it feels like it's 1 and 1A and not 1 and B, or A and B. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed that little opening segment there where we kind of came up with 4 guys who, you know, feel like they all deserve a shot. So we'll see what happens in the main event. In our opening match of the show, and about to had decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Chavo and Brian Clark defeat Zero Cool in 9:07. Chavo Guerrero pins Scott Taylor with a gory bomb. Scott Taylor 49, Sean O'Hara 54, Brian Clark a 44, and Chavo a 50. Brian Clark was off his game. O'Hara and Taylor show excellent chemistry, announcing quietly to the match. 49th segment. Chavo and Clark are now going to be a tag team going forward, as we need another heel team. And Zero Cool gets featured on Nitro, unfortunately in a loss, but it's a good situation to have everybody as much as I possibly can on Nitro. I do wish that segment rating would have been a little bit better, but I'll take what I can get. We get a graphic that shows that the Outsiders will be here next week discussing their future here in World Championship Wrestling after having that very difficult match last night in War Games. So um, I will find out what's kind of going on there. We might be seeing the retirement of the Outsiders. We'll see. Looking forward to that, though. And a decent match. Billy Kidman defeats Frankie Kazarian by pinfall with a shooting star press. Frankie Kazarian at 59, Billy Kidman at 48, announcing quality lifted the match, 54 segment rating. This is a match that I want to get Billy Kidman a win as a heel. I want to kind of move Frankie Kazarian slowly down the card a little. Not too much, but just kind of putting him in that lower mid card area, and just kind of finding his ground there. Kidman needed to win, so I think both guys benefit in that sense, and the rating wasn't bad. And we did a high flying match here, and it did okay. So I'm not complaining at all. Definitely could have been better, definitely could have been worse. So we're good with this. The militia is walking backstage. Reagan's all super crazy in Berlin, and they're confronted by the Steiner brothers, as the Steiner brothers said they want their shot at the tag team titles, and the brawl ensues. 3-on-2, the Steiner brothers are going at it with the militia. Clearly, there's still some bad blood between all these guys, and obviously security and officials come in and break it up as best to their ability. Storyline advanced, and the militia storyline advanced. 67 segment rating. Steiner brothers are going to be going for the tag team titles here against the militia. I know we've seen that before, but at the same time, I think it's been some time that we can make it a little bit fresh, so we're going to go with it. We get a recap of how Mark Jindrak earned his TV championship match here tonight against Kaz Hayashi. 66 segment on the graphic here, or in the video, sorry. And the TV title song has advanced, so we'll see kind of what this match rating gets us. TV title has been a little bit lackluster, so I'm hoping that with this situation we'll get a little better. We'll see. In a good match, Mark Jindrak defeats Kaz Hayashi in 13:30 by pinfall, the mark of excellence. Mark Jindrak wins the WCW Television Championship. Jindrak at 57, Kaz Hayashi at 73. TV title story has advanced. Kaz Hayashi has a gimmick that is getting stale. The match got the crowd hotter. Okay, so let me just put that down. Hayashi needs a new gimmick. Cool. And we have a new TV champion in Mark Jindrak. 66 rating on the match. I'll take that. This match got the crowd hotter. Okay. Mainly, I got this belt off of Kaz Hayashi just because I want to do something new with him. And the TV title is kind of restricting. But at the same time, Jindrak, he needed something. He's been kind of just floating around. And I feel like this is the good idea to get him on the right track as we kind of build him up. So, good stuff out of both men here. No complaints. And Mark Jindrak is your new WCW Television Champion, like I said. Storyline has advanced, and the segment was a 66. Good stuff out of both guys. We get Mitchell and Abyss in-ring promo, as Abyss is now the new WCW Champion. Mitchell is talking about how he told everybody what was going to happen, and no one wanted to believe him, and that the destruction of Rey Mysterio was just the beginning, and that Abyss, as the WCW Champion, will never be beaten. As for tonight, the Nightbreed want to have a match against somebody, and we want that match right now. We don't care who comes out. The Nightbreed just want to fight somebody. 61 segment on both promos. Mitchell did great on both. We'll see who answers the challenge here for the Nightbreed and see who faces off against them. And it was Triple X. In a decent match, the Nightbreed defeat Triple X in 10 minutes when Vampiro pins Elix Skipper with a nail in the coffin. Vampire Warrior was the weak link. Elix Skipper 62, Daniels a 57, Vampiro 57, Warrior 42. Vampire Warrior's off his game. Now it's the quality of the match, and Vampiro has a stale gimmick, so we'll adjust that as well. So we'll fix those behind the scenes. 57 on the match. Solid tag team match. We got two tag team matches on the show, and we hyped up our tag team titles. I'm hoping to get the tag division into a good spot here. I have a lot of movement that's going to be coming, so looking forward to that. Not to mention, we still have the Dudleys and Shane and Bam Bam, so you never know what's going to happen. We get a backstage promo from Chris Kanyon saying that he is the best in the world after beating Sting last night. Some people said that it was a little sketchy how I beat him, but the facts are Chris Kanyon has the win, Sting has the loss, and that Chris Kanyon is the best in the world for beating the so-called icon. Storyline has advanced 72 on the promo. Good stuff out of Mr. Kanyon. And in about that had good heat and decent wrestling. Chris Kanyon defeats Tommy Dreamer in 7:17 by pinfall with a flatliner. Chris Kanyon is 75, Dreamer of 50. This match got the crowd hotter. 67 overall segment. Chris Kanyon is getting another TV win. Dreamer gets featured, which is always a nice little pleasant surprise. But Kanyon's just going to keep pushing. I'm very excited to say that Chris Kanyon is now a major star when it comes to like preposition on the card, which is amazing because he's only had the U.S. title once, and we haven't really been pushing anything crazy. But him getting that win over Sting was a huge thing. So. And then it shows a camera at Sting staring down Kanyon from the rafters as we go to commercial break. So clearly this storyline is not over. And Sting has some revenge, hopefully on his mind, for Chris Kanyon going forward. 71 segment rating. We get a promo. Double J starts in the ring and welcomes Dynasty members BG and Dustin one by one. And saying that this should have been the most dominant faction in company history, and for some reason it hasn't been. And we've been trying to figure out why it's not, and I think I figured out the problem. And Jeff Jarrett says, we have no leadership. And BG and Dustin are both very surprised, as Jeff Jarrett says, we need a new leader here in the Dynasty, and I'm going to welcome him right now. We need Dusty Rhodes to come on down. So Dusty Rhodes comes to the ring and joins the Dynasty as he says we need leadership. And the Dynasty story has advanced. Dusty Rhodes is getting better at his gimmick. 61 overall rating. And Dusty says this could be the best faction here in World Championship Wrestling for sure. All they needed was a little bit of guidance. However, Dusty and Dustin raise their arms as BG and Double J attack both men from behind. And they are laying into Dusty and Dustin Rhodes, and they both grab guitars, and they are lining them up, but they zip tie Dusty and Dustin Rhodes to the ropes on separate sides as BG and Double J both smash guitars over both Rhodes boys and leave them laying as bloody messes. This was, I think, a very needed situation. We have now turned Dustin Rhodes babyface. BG and Jeff Jarrett have kicked him out of the group, and they have attacked Dusty Rhodes as well. As you can tell, we are going towards a tag team match down the road, but this was something that I think we needed to do. Plus, Jeff Jarrett had been out injured for weeks now, so we really were dragging this out to kind of get to the turn. And I'm very happy with all of this. Storyline has advanced and gained heat. And this is going to be the beginning of the Dustin Rhodes push, so I'm looking forward to all of this. And in our main event of the evening, in the #1 Contenders match, and about to head great heat and good wrestling, Mike Awesome defeats Lance Storm, the Hurricane, and Rhino in 15 minutes when Mike Awesome pins the Hurricane after an awesome bomb. Lance Storm is 74, Mike Awesome is 76, the Hurricane is 59, Rhino is 65. All storylines have advanced. Mike Awesome benefited from having a hot new move. 72 on the segment. And we end the show with Mike Awesome celebrating in the ring as the new #1 contender as the camera pans to Guido in the militia's office. Obviously very upset that Mike Awesome is now your #1 contender, as that segment gets us a 73. Both storylines have advanced. So let's see what we get for a rating for the final show, or for the finish of the show. Alright, we got a 71 rating. We lost popularity in 8 regions, so I will take a look at that. I think it's because we have to be over 72 now because we've gained so much popularity. Show increase in 8 regions, though. Everything's looking good. We did sign a new TV deal that will change things for sure going forward. But, guys, I want to say this. You guys have been amazing. Let's keep shooting for those 10 likes on every video. Please make sure you're commenting below. If you want to see something different or you have an idea, please throw it in there. I will use it most likely. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the ride with these Nitros and obviously the Great American Bash. But next Sunday you'll see the next Nitro on our way to Bash at the Beach.